And that, my dear new hires, is how to properly fold the ceremonial dining napkins for our Pathani guests, I concluded, watching their secondary appendages practice the intricate pattern. Now, for our next, the ship's intercom crackled, "Attention staff. Human passengers begin boarding in 30 minutes. All personnel report to designated stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill." My spinal ridge stiffened. Change of plans. Everyone secure your stations and report to Emergency Protocol Briefing Room 7. Move with purpose. As my new staff scrambled out, I quickly accessed the teaching terminal and pulled up the security footage I had hoped wouldn't be necessary today. For those of you who haven't worked with humans before, I called out as they settled into their seats. Trying to keep my voice steady, this footage is from the SS Stellar Dream, our sister ship. These incidents occurred within the first 6 hours of their inaugural human cruise. The holoscreen flickered to life, showing a seemingly innocent corridor. 2 humans stood there, looking at their entertainment schedules. Notice their posture. I pointed with my primary appendage. The slight swaying, the tapping of feet, the frequent checking of chronometers. These are warning signs of human boredom onset. What happened next? The footage showed the humans discovering a maintenance cart full of dining trays. Within 15 minutes, they had somehow constructed a gravity-defying slide that spanned 3 decks using nothing but those trays, cleaning solution, and what they called physics. "But that's impossible," one of my new hires exclaimed. "The artificial gravity humans," I interrupted, my voice rising an octave, "don't particularly care about what's impossible. In fact, telling them something is impossible often appears to motivate them further." I suppressed a shudder. And this was just 2 of them. That same cruise, we had a group of 6 humans who became bored during the stellar observation period. The next footage showed these humans creating what they termed a zero-G dodgeball league using our service drones as balls. 17 other passengers had joined before security could respond. But surely other Deathworld species, another new hire began. "No," I cut them off. "The Floth are perfectly content to sleep. The Vor meditate. Even the notorious Razorclaw packs just groom each other. Only humans respond to inactivity by actively seeking ways to challenge fundamental physics or station safety protocols." The room fell silent as I let that sink in. Their own kind warns of this. They have a saying, "Idle hands do the devil's work." We had to research what a devil was. Trust me, the fact that they invented an entire cosmic entity of chaos and attribute it to boredom should tell you everything you need to know. The intercom chimed again, 20 minutes until human boarding. I straightened my uniform. "Right. Let's review the entertainment schedules. Remember, a busy human is a safe human. An idle human is a lawsuit waiting to happen." The doors hissed open, and my supervisor rushed in, all 4 eyes wide. "Zilksea. The Advanced Passenger Manifest. It's a human bachelor party group." I felt both of my hearts skip several beats. This was going to be a long cruise. Now I continued, pulling up another set of training materials as my hearts finally steadied their rhythm. We need to understand why humans behave this way. The cruise line's Xenopsychology department has spent considerable resources studying this phenomenon. I displayed a historical image of an ancient human ocean vessel. Even during their pre-space era, humans exhibited this peculiar trait. Ship logs from their age of sail document countless incidents of crew members inventing increasingly dangerous games to pass the time. Something they called poles of grease climbing was particularly popular despite, or perhaps because of, its tendency to result in injury. The holoscreen shifted to display various graphs and behavioral studies. Humans evolved on a planet that constantly tried to kill them. Their brains developed to be hyperactive pattern recognition machines, always searching for threats or opportunities. When no immediate challenges present themselves, their minds begin to create their own. One of my new hires raised an appendage. "But what about entertainment systems? Surely they can just watch holovids or use simulation pods." I let out a short, sharp laugh. "Passive entertainment only works for so long. Humans need to be active participants. They have something called an endocrine system that rewards risk-taking behavior with pleasure chemicals. The more dangerous or challenging the activity, the more rewarding they find it." "That's horrifying," someone whispered from the back. "Indeed. And it gets worse. Humans are pack predators by nature. When one human begins engaging in what they call shenanigans, others are chemically and socially compelled to join in. They even have a term for this, peer pressure." I switched to footage from another cruise ship. Here's what happened when one human decided the regular swimming pool was too boring and convinced others they could improve it. They managed to modify the gravity plating to create what they called a wave pool. 47 passengers joined in before engineering could reverse the modifications. But they could have drowned. Exactly. And do you know what they did after we restored normal gravity? They submitted a formal request to make it a permanent feature, which corporate approved, by the way. Apparently, it tested well with other Deathworld species. I pulled up another slide. Their own medical professionals have studied this phenomenon extensively. They've identified something called dopamine as the primary culprit. It's a neural chemical that... The intercom interrupted again. 15 minutes until human boarding. All staff to stations. We're running out of time, I said, quickly switching to the next section. Let's move on to the protocols. But remember this. Humans refer to boredom as their arch nemesis. Any species that personifies the absence of stimulation as an enemy to be fought should be treated with appropriate caution. Zilksa. My supervisor poked his head back in. Update on the bachelor party. The groom is something called an engineering student. The room fell deadly silent. Triple the security teams on engineering deck, I whispered, and lock down the maintenance carts. All of them. Listen carefully, I said, bringing up the emergency protocols on the holoscreen. These procedures were written in blood, mostly human blood, because they consider most injuries just a funny story to tell later. I gestured to the first section. Every human passenger must have at least 3 scheduled activities per ship's day cycle. Yes, they will complain about overscheduling and wanting to relax. Ignore these protests. Humans don't actually know what's good for them. Our research shows they're happiest when slightly overwhelmed. Pulling up the duty roster, I continued, we maintain 3 separate emergency response teams. Team Alpha handles impromptu sports leagues. Humans will create these out of literally anything. Team Beta specializes in preventing unauthorized modifications to ship systems. And Team Gamma, I paused, Team Gamma handles what humans call hold my beer incidents. Several staff members looked confused. I waved off their questions. You'll understand soon enough. Just remember, if you ever hear a human say those words, hit the emergency alert immediately. Don't wait. Don't ask questions. Just hit it. Now for the restricted items list. I began scrolling through an extensively long document. Humans are banned from possessing duct tape, wire coat hangers, more than 3 rubber bands at once, paper clips in quantities exceeding 5, drinking straws without supervision, and most importantly, anything they refer to as spare parts. But Senior Coordinator, one of the newer staff interrupted, half of these items are standard in their quarters. Exactly. Which is why we perform random inspections. They will hoard these items, creating what they call just-in-case collections. A human with a collection of random items is a human plotting something. I switched to the next screen. During FTL jumps, we run continuous activities. The casino never closes. The gym is always staffed. The simulators run non-stop. A bored human during FTL is particularly dangerous because they start wondering how things work. The last time we let that happen, a group of them tried to optimize the jump drive. They claimed they could make it go faster. Could they? That's not the point. The point is the intercom blared, 10 minutes until human boarding. Bachelor party approaching docking bay 3. I quickly shifted to the final protocol page. Right. Emergency stations, everyone. Remember your training. No guest should ever be more than 30 seconds from an organized activity. The entertainment schedule is your holy text. The activity directors are your gods. And for the love of all that's sacred, if anyone sees an engineering student near anything mechanical, signal for backup immediately. But coordinator, someone called out, you haven't finished the protocols. No time. I said, rushing them toward the door. Just remember the most important rule. Never let a human say they're bored. Because the moment they do, the ship's security alert suddenly blasted through the speaker's warning. Unauthorized modification detected in docking bay 3. Repeat, unauthorized modification detected in docking bay 3. All 4 of my supervisor's eyes widened in horror. They're not even on board yet. Stars help us all, I whispered. They're early. Everyone remained calm. I announced to my panicking staff, trying to project confidence I absolutely did not feel. Just remember your training and woohoo. A distinctly human voice echoed through the corridors, followed by what sounded suspiciously like repulsor lifts being used in ways their designers never intended. Status report. I barked into my communicator. What's happening in docking bay 3? They were waiting for baggage handling, my security chief replied, sounding dazed. The engineering student, the groom, he said the process looked inefficient and that he was bored waiting. I felt my second heart stutter. What did they do? They've modified the cargo loaders into some sort of racing vehicles. They're using luggage as obstacles for a course. 23 other human passengers have already joined in. They're taking bets on, wait, how did they get the anti-grav units to? The transmission cut off as cheering erupted from multiple decks. Madam, one of my staff burst in. The other human passengers, they're leaving their orientation sessions to join the chaos, I finished, slumping against the teaching podium. Of course they are. My supervisor rushed in again, all four eyes now twitching. Corporate is on the line. They want to know why there's a trending social media post about extreme baggage racing on their newest cruise ship. A human passenger stuck their head through the door, grinning with those terrifying teeth. Hey, you guys running the book for the racing, or should we set up our own odds? Also, any chance we could get some of those fancy napkins from orientation? We need flags for the finish line. I stared at my new staff, their faces showing varying degrees of horror. And this, I said quietly, is why we never let humans get bored. This is just hour one of a 7-day cruise. The human was still waiting expectantly at the door. Behind them I could hear the distinct sound of someone modifying what was probably crucial ship equipment, accompanied by phrases like "hold my beer and watch this." I took a deep breath and straightened my uniform. Right, new plan. Team Beta, secure all remaining maintenance equipment. Team Alpha, begin setting up proper racing brackets. If we can't stop it, we might as well regulate it. Someone get me the entertainment director and tell them to push up the casino opening. And somebody please get me a drink. A strong one. The human's grin widened. First round's on the bachelor party. You should see what the best man is doing with the scanning arrays. Both my hearts stopped completely. It was going to be a very, very long cruise. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave it a like and to subscribe if you'd like to see more. Feel free to comment and share it as well. With all that said, go on and check out the video in the top left. I think you might like it.